Hey, sophomores, welcome to week 4 of Multimedia Design. So for this week, you guys are going to be turning in your second draft for your infographic. So last week you guys did peer reviews. You should have done 5 peer reviews. And you also received a bunch of peer reviews. And the second thing you're going to want to do is the week 4 quiz, which is going to be up on Canvas. Going back to those peer reviews, let's review the 3 B's of receiving feedback. The first B is remember to be open before you look. So be open to what people have to say. Be open to other people's critiques and the suggestions, which leads us into the next B. All those suggestions and critiques are for you to make a better product. So you're going to want to have that mindset of I want to make the best product possible, and other people's suggestions and other people's input will help you do that. And remember that beneficial overall, the third B, basically means that your classmates, your peers, they want to benefit you, and everything that you guys receive is to your benefit. You're not going to lose anything by the things that you're hearing and you're getting the feedback you're getting from your classmates. So remember that. So for this feedback, you should kind of take people's suggestions and my suggestions as kind of like a checklist. So for example, if one of your classmates is like, "Hey, your title isn't centered," or your colors don't match, think of those things as like a checklist that you want to check off when you're making your second draft, so that you basically hit all the nails. Let's walk through Canvas and Illustrator. So here is Canvas. So for your for week 4, you guys are gonna watch this video. Obviously, you're watching it right now. This is where you're gonna submit your second draft, and then here's also your week 4 quiz. So you're gonna do all that. I do have a couple of suggestions and a couple of tips to give you guys for your second draft. And let's go to Illustrator quick. So a lot of you guys use logos for the different schools you guys put on your infographic, which is awesome. It's great. But some people some people got logos off the internet that weren't the best resolution. They weren't the best quality. So as you guys can see between these two logos, both UW logos, I got them both from Google basically. The one on the right is going to be a lot lower quality. You can tell by the edges are kind of pixelated and blurry. There's pixelation going on within the image. The colors aren't consistent, whereas you don't see much of that in the image to the left. So, picking a great quality image will give your project, your infographic, kind of a sharpness. That's just something you're gonna want to be looking for your next draft and your final product as well. Something else to keep in mind. So what you guys can do, something we didn't show you in fall kickoff, is if you have this image that you got from the internet, basically. Let's say, for example, and this will lead me to a couple things. Let's say, for example, you have a black background for your infographic, or a different color background than the image that you're using. So in this example, the UW logo has a white background, but your infographic has a black background rather, and you want to get rid of that white. But it's not a PNG. This is the JPEG, so it's kind of stuck on there. What you guys can do is you can live trace. So if you click on the image, you go up to image trace, and then because we have 3 colors here, I can go to image trace 3 colors. And then basically what it does is it changes that JPEG, which uses pixels, into a vector image, which number 1 gives it better quality to begin with, so that's something you might want to try as well. But number 2, if I hit expand, it'll actually make endpoints for the different elements in the image. And then if so everything's inherently grouped. If you right click and then hit ungroup, it'll basically ungroup all those parts, and you can delete that white background. And then basically you're left with just the logo. Also, You can like change the color if you want to, and basically make that image you got from the internet your own when you're using it in your infographic. And this is something to keep in mind for all your future projects in Illustrator. So let's go back to the presentation. Do we have any questions?
Yeah, so my new draft that I'm submitting, how different will that be from the one I submitted 2 weeks ago for peer review?
Awesome. That's totally dependent on like how far you got with your first draft. If your first draft you got really, really far and there was just a couple little tweaks you had to do to make it above and beyond, then you're going to be ready to go. If you're on the other end of the spectrum though, and you had your first draft but there was a lot of work that needed to be done and that was made clear by myself and your peers, then you're just going to have more work to do. Yes, Josue.
What would be the best way to contact you?
Email is probably the best way to contact me. A lot of you have already done so. I would probably recommend using the ITATTI help desk rather than my personal email to contact me. So yeah, email. Yes.
So there's a couple different scenarios for students right now. So
Sure.
One, I'm a student who turned in my infographic. I didn't have any issues with Canvas or Illustrator, so I turned in my draft on time, and I gave 4 reviews, but I still want to give my 5th.
Mm-hmm.
And another one is I didn't get it in on time for various reasons, but I'm ready to submit it and I still want those peer reviews. Can you just go over the peer review system and
Sure.
how we can get caught up on that?
Sure. So basically the way the peer review system works is if you turn something in, you will have people to review, and people will be able to review you. So that you won't be able to give peer reviews, nor obviously will be able to receive peer reviews until you actually turn something in. So as people turn more projects in, we're going to be assigning, peer reviews to those newcomers. Yeah.
And so like Haley there, looks like she's gotten 5 and that check mark, that must mean that she's given feedback to 5 people. So Haley's done with that assignment.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yep.
Whereas Noah has submitted something and he's got 5 people to review, but he just hasn't had a chance to review
That is exactly right.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Well, it looks like we're all good. I hope you guys have a great week.